Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. So the Traitor Wars has begun, and yesterday we saw it begin, with the Black Legion taking on the Night Lords. And well, first blood has well and truly been drawn, as Abaddon and his Black Legion ran home with the rampant victory. At least that's what I'd wrote in my script. I guess it serves me right for jumping ahead of the gun, because you guys have well and truly surprised me. This was surprisingly a very close run thing. On the Instagram poll, the Night Lords ran home with the victory by 55% to 45%. But on the straw poll, the Black Legion narrowly edged the victory with just over 52%. So combining together all of the total votes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Night Lords have edged the victory by just 164 votes. Guys, if you thought the Black Legion were going home with the victory so you didn't vote, man, I think this shows that every vote counts. Just 164 in it. The Midnight Clad move on to face Angron and his World Eaters. They may wish they had never come away with the victory here. Now honestly, as much as a surprise that is to me, I'm actually quite pleased to see it. Much like Sanguinius ran away with the Primarch tournament, I thought the Black Legion was gonna stomp their way to the victory. But you guys have had other ideas. Now I do think maybe the popularity of the Night Lords has played in a little bit into the vote here. As we said yesterday, the Black Legion well and truly have a numerical advantage. But in checking out your messages and comments in regards to how you think it would play out, quite a few of you thought the Night Lords would go straight to taking out Abaddon. And if the War Master fell, then the stability of the Black Legion would well and truly crumble. And honestly, I can see the logic in that. As I said yesterday, if Kurz was around, I rated the Night Lord's chances as much higher, as he would have made a beeline straight for the War Master. Now, could the Night Lords do it without the Night Haunter? That I am not too sure, but your vote has spoken and the Night Lords move on. I don't think I'll bother writing a script in advance this time. You guys are full of surprises. So as the Night Lords will move on to face the World Eaters, today we move on to the Emperor's Children taking on the Thousand Sons, and then the Alpha Legion taking on the Iron Warriors. So without further ado, let us dive in to the Emperor's Children versus the Thousand Sons. Now I know I probably say this for every single one, but this is an interesting one, as both of these once proud legions have most definitely fallen under the sway of their particular Chaos God patrons. The Emperor's Children, of course, dedicated to the god of excess, Slaanesh, and through their Primarch Fulgrim, have fallen a long way from the once proud legion they were. They have fully embraced the Dark Prince, and as such have become largely self-obsessed with their own pursuits of pleasure. In the aftermath of the heresy, despite initially having large success in the Traitor War, they would ultimately become a shattered legion, broken down into scattered warbands led by selfish and depraved warlords. This defeat was in large part, in my opinion, due to the absence of Fulgrim, who, like the rest of the Demon Primarchs, largely left his legion behind and turned his interests to the great game of the Chaos Gods, among other things which we won't talk about. And really, for the Emperor's Children, that is largely where they have remained to this day. For the most part, a broken legion. However, in times of particular calls, or when Fulgrim's interest can actually be piqued, the Legion of old can be brought together once more, with a single psychic shriek from their Primarch, echoing out across time and space. All the sons of the Phoenician can be summoned to his side once more, whether through a son's loyalty to his father, or perhaps a lust of battle to come. All of the sons of Fulgrim will heed their father's call. And despite their heavily mutated state, don't make the mistake thinking the Emperor's children aren't still a potent fighting force. They have lost none of their skill at arms, and if anything, the boons of the Dark Prince have only gifted them further. With their lethal sonic weaponry, and still being able to be united by their Primarch, the Emperor's children are a fearsome opponent for any legion within this war, and that very much includes Magnus and his 1,000 sons. In regards to the 1,000 sons, if the Emperor's children have fallen far from the proud legion they once were, then man, I don't know how to describe the fall of the 1,000 sons. This legion was well and truly broken upon the sands of Prospero at the hands of Russ and his wolves. Oh, what a shame. But no, seriously, it was then in Ahriman's desire to save his brothers he cast his infamous rubric. Few, if any, have a tale quite like the 1,000 Sons Legion. But for all their tragedy, aside from Abaddon's Black Legion, there have been no others more active in their fight across the galaxy, whether prosecuting their revenge against the Sons of Russ or teleporting the planet of the sorcerers into the material realm. Magnus is undoubtedly more powerful than ever, at least in terms of sorcery, and when it comes to the 1,000 Sons, those are the only terms you need. The number strength of this legion are hard to come by these days. I think it's a given to assume the 1,000 Sons are most definitely still one of the smallest traitor legions. However, they have for the most part remained intact under the leadership of Magnus the Red. And it's this combined power of sorcerers that gives the 1,000 Sons its devastating position. And really, this is a tough one for me to call. And considering I called the Black Legion in the first one, I really don't know which way this one's going to go. However, in my opinion, the numbers and firepower goes to the Emperor's children, as well as skill at arms. I really think Fulgrim and his sons have the definite advantage in this area. But as I said before, you have to weigh that against the sheer destructive potential of the sorcery of the 1,000 Sons. Perhaps the deciding factor here comes down to who you would take in the fight between Magnus and Fulgrim, as there's no way either of their egos would allow them not to face their brother in combat. This would really be a mirror of their legions, with Fulgrim having the edge in skill at arms and Magnus with his sorcery. Perhaps it all depends on how effective Magnus's spells will be against a fellow demon Primarch. Considering the effectiveness of the Adeptus Astartes librarians against the demons of the Warp, maybe Magnus needs to be given the edge here. I am really quite torn on this one, as I think the Emperor's children really do get slept on these days, and I've been waiting for that Fulgrim and Emperor's Children model release for quite a long time now, as you guys know. But until I see the Emperor's Children emerge onto the stage as a major force once more, showcasing what they are truly capable of, I think I'm going to have to side with Magnus and the 1,000 Sons. When it comes down to the Battle of the Primarchs, I think Magnus can tip the balance in his side more than the Phoenician can for the Emperor's children. But as always guys, it's your vote that counts, not mine. If you have an opinion on this one, make sure you vote. But now on to our second battle of the day. The Alpha Legion taking on the Iron Warriors. And really well, in my opinion, this couldn't be two more contrasting legions. The fate of the Alpha Legion since the heresy again hasn't been the kindest one, with the death of Alfarius at the hands of his brother Rogel Dawn. And yes, as I've said before, I am very much in the camp of Alfarius is dead. Until we get conclusively told otherwise, I'm sticking with what is the canon lore. Alfarius died at the hands of Rogel. However, as I was saying, the fate of the Alpha Legion since then hasn't been the kindest one. The Legion very much broken down into separate warbands. And really this is where the very nature of the Alpha Legion has kind of worked against them. The secrets upon secrets has really left each individual warband believing a different philosophy on just what's going on with their legion at large. Some believe Alfarius still lives, some believe Omegon has taken the lead, whereas others believe both the twins have been slain. Honestly, the structure of the Alpha Legion is very much a mess. But of course, if you're an Alpha Legion fan, your argument against that could well be that's exactly what the Alpha Legion want you to think. And well, let's be honest, that could very much be the truth. So your vote in favour of the Alpha Legion in regards to this battle very much depends on your opinion of just what's going on with the Alpha Legion. Now, my opinion, like stated, is Alfarius is very much dead. And while I very much did used to believe that it was Omegon that died at the hands of Guilliman and not Alfarius, I must admit I am starting to lean towards a different theory. That Omegon is still out there somewhere, leading his large portion of the Alpha Legion in secret. And really just because of all these unknowns, it's quite hard for me to say just what the fighting strength of the Alpha Legion is. So I'm gonna have to go with what I can say for certain, and that's that the Alpha Legion appears to be completely broken down into warbands, each fighting for their own purpose and desires. Until I see the Legion at large fighting in force once more, I really can't give an opinion otherwise. So the force of arms well and truly goes in the favour for Perturabo and the Iron Warriors for me. The Iron Warriors, however, are a little easier to discuss, as we know their Primarch Perturabo is very much still alive, ascending to demonhood in the aftermath of the heresy. However, unlike his brothers Magnus, Lorgar and Mortarion, he has not had as much success in holding his legion together, as the Iron Warriors were racked by civil war. Now the detailed repercussions of this are unknown, but what we do know is that the Iron Warriors, like so many of their fellow cousins, broke down into several warbands. But considering Perturabo led the Iron Warriors against his brother Mortarion during the War of Rust and Ruin, I think it's safe to assume that most of the Legion still bows to their Primarch. Now the speciality of the Iron Warriors has long been their overwhelming firepower, the experts in siege warfare. And in my opinion they would still very much have this advantage over their Alpha Legion opponents. And the mind of Perturabo most definitely gives them a tactical edge. I guess, like I said when speaking of the Alpha Legion, your voting for this one largely depends on just what state you think the Alpha Legion are in. The Iron Warriors, while broken into warbands, would largely be pulled together under the iron grip of Perturabo in my mind, and his tactics would surely be hard to match, even as unpredictable as the Alpha Legion can be. Now again, I believe Alfarius is dead, but I am inclined to believe Omegon is out there somewhere still, leading at least a handful of warbands. Could he call together once more a large portion of the Legion? Yes, I think that is a distinct possibility. However, would it be enough to defeat Perturabo and his Iron Warriors? I'm not sure I can go that far. I know the Alpha Legion will have a large popularity following over the Iron Warriors in this one. However, in my mind, if I'm being purely logical, the Iron Warriors get the nod in this one. We've seen the Iron Warriors go toe to toe with the Death Guard themselves, and they are quite possibly the most organised legion still to this date. If Perturabo and the Iron Warriors can give the Death Guard a run for their money, then honestly there's no way I can give the Alpha Legion the vote here. As a complete fighting force, they have just become too broken down. There's just not enough structure left within the Hydra to give Perturabo a true run for his money. But again guys, what do you think? It's your vote that counts. Make sure you vote in both of the polls for today. Again, I can't stress it enough. We've already seen that every vote counts. There will be links in the description to the voting on Straw Poll, or again you can vote on the Wolf Lord Rho Instagram. However you vote, it will be counted as I will collate all the results together, so make sure your vote is heard. I have already been shocked by the one result we've already had, so I am really interested to see how both of these play out tomorrow. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again tomorrow as the Traitor War continues.